Hello and welcome to another recap of The Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 15, Episode 3, The Splash Heard Round the OC. Okay, we start out with Shannon and limpet boyfriend John getting ready for a housewarming. He apparently has completely morphed his life into whatever Shannon needs. That is apparently his life now. What do you do? Whatever Shannon needs. Anyway, let's hope that there's more to it than that, and that he's not just clinging on, like I said, like a limpet. Because I would like Shannon not to be disappointed again. I would like her to have something nice in her life. Okay. Anyway, there is a lot of reasons for una muy grande fiesta, because Shannon's life is coming together. There's so much. There's good things happening, good things in the air. Those 9 lemons apparently worked. So it is indeed time for una muy grande fiesta for Shannon and her new house. And it's also a big advertisement for real to real. No, actually it's real for real. The party has a lemon theme. I guess that's something in her logo for real, and then also her lemons in a bowl thing from years ago. I don't know. Apparently it's stuck in my mind. So I guess that's kind of her thing. That's Shannon's muy importante símbolo, or very important symbol. Right, Kelly is invited. Okay. Shannon can't stand Emily, really, but she's willing to try. Emily feels like she's just consistently ignored by Shannon. Anyway, so Elizabeth and Kelly, new girl Elizabeth and Kelly, go to dinner. They go to a farmhouse, which is a fun place in Orange County, which I miss. And they meet Gina there. Okay, Elizabeth can't talk about her divorce, but it's a huge divorce. And apparently she's constantly bringing up the divorce and how huge it is, but she can't talk about any details. And conveniently, as part of the non-disclosure agreement about the divorce, she's not allowed to talk about anything having to do with her relationship with her new boyfriend, Jimmy. However, we already know, because we've heard a million times, they're not having sex, they're not having sex, they're not having sex. Not until the divorce is final, which is a little odd because neither of them are that religious. I don't think it's a religion thing. I'm not sure, but anyway. I'm just saying, you might want to test drive that. It's muy importante. Okay, Shannon and Elizabeth had a dinner, and Shannon reminded her that when they met, Shannon told Elizabeth, "Oh, you told me that you were probably the richest bitch I'd ever meet in Orange County." So, in other words, this is Elizabeth, Kelly, and Gina having a discussion about Shannon. And so, in other words, Elizabeth's impression of Shannon is that money is muy importante to the una amiga, and that yeah, she really wanted to let her know that she knew how rich she was. Okay. You know, she's worth 30 million, and wow, this is so sad to say this. I mean, God, I would love, that's unbelievable amount of money, but there are so many people in Newport Beach, let alone Malibu, Los Angeles, all over California, Silicon Valley. I mean, all over, up and down the coast of California, that could buy and sell her a million times. So yeah, I guess now that Heather is no longer on the show, she probably is the wealthiest person. Yeah, she probably is. But anyway, she's not the richest bitch you're going to meet in Orange County. Trust me on that. Okay. All right. So anyway, they're all commenting that, Shannon is now reaching out to be friends with Elizabeth, and they're like, yeah, because Elizabeth is rich, and that's very important to Shannon. Gina tells Elizabeth and Kelly how Bronwyn and Shannon both have kind of looked down on her condo and referred to it as small. Again, if we're going to get way back into this episode, this thing about Bronwyn saying that Shannon, word for word, verbatim, said, and I quote, that Gina's condo was sad and depressing. Not just small, but sad and depressing. Okay. That doesn't sound like something Shannon would say. We don't have that on video. We don't have proof. And my feeling about that with Gina is, why don't you ask Shannon if she said that? And, you know, Gina's a smart girl, so she'll figure it out. But yeah, the best thing to do, Gina, is ask Shannon. You know, did you say this? Bronwyn said that you said my condo was sad and depressing. Anyway, okay. And then we have the obligatory tragic moment where the ladies are toasting each other and they're like, yeah, 2020 is going to be so much better than 2019. I can just feel it. 2020 is going to be an amazing year. I need a drink. And you know what? For the first 12 weeks of 2020, up until the middle of March, it was a fabulous year for me too. It was a fabulous year for a lot of people until it wasn't. So anyway, now we're back to Braunwyn. Okay, Braunwyn has been sober for 28 days. It's been extremely up and down. You know, again, good for her, but also kind of crazy to be doing this without rehab. And so far she hasn't been to an AA meeting, I guess. She's about to go to her first one, but she hasn't been to AA yet. So, wow. Okay. She's being pretty honest. She's being pretty raw in front of the camera. Look, there are a lot of things about Bronwyn that drive me crazy, and they're gonna soon drive me even more crazy. Because being sober doesn't give you permission to be an asshole. You still have to watch yourself. You still have to check yourself. Either that or just don't go out and be with human beings. Just stay in your house until you feel safe enough to go out in polite society. Okay, but she says the only thing that might be bigger than my love for alcohol, in other words, the only thing that might keep me sober, is my love for my children. And she doesn't even say the only thing that's definitely bigger than my love for alcohol is my love for my children. She says that might be bigger than my love for alcohol. She's being really honest here. You know, there are a whole bunch of parents that pick their addictions of various sorts over their children. It happens. Okay, I like the hidden ninja nanny in the background while Bronwyn is pretending to do everything herself. She's pretending to make dinner. She's pretending to get everyone to the table. She's pretending to put everybody to bed. And then kind of in the darkened room, there's this like stealth nanny kind of shooting around. And of course we know she has two nannies, so. All right, you know, and she also says, wow, and this was really kind of hit me too. She said, I used to really cling to the idea that I was a good mom. And now I realize I'm not even that. I'm not a good mom. I let my kids see the worst of me. I let them see me really drunk. I let them see me fall apart. I'm not a good mom. Wow. She said, yeah, my kids have had a front row seat to my demise. She is really just ripping it open and showing it to the world. You know, it's really hard to do that. And then when she says, you know, my kids have had a front row seat to my demise, and especially, I mean, to her bad behavior, I'm thinking to myself, hey, Kelly, are you listening? Just saying. Okay. And then she said the Hazel, the little one, the baby, would go to the nanny instead of her for the last, I guess, several months. She's just now starting to come to mommy again because mommy's not crazy drunk, I guess. I don't know. That's really sad. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed that she's airing all this because people need to hear it. And even though Bronwyn can be a bitch and she's super materialistic and there are things about her I can't stand, I'm going to give her a partial break for having to be the daughter of Dr. Deb. And then I'm also going to give her a little bit of break because she's on do-it-yourself sobriety, which is not usually recommended. And you know, she might, what if she just helps one person? I think she'll help more than one person by being so honest on the show. It has a huge audience. So Sean is listening and not saying much, as he tends not to do. Sean just sits there and lets his chunky green Maori statement necklace do all the talking. His immunity idol, as Emily called it. He just doesn't seem very deep. Sean is more like, they have the kind of relationship that I used to have with my hairstylist when I had an amazing hairstylist for, 10 years. And, you know, we would talk about a lot of stuff. Actually, no, I think that my relationship with my hairstylist might have gone a lot deeper than this relationship. I'm not sure. He just sort of seems to sort of walk around behind her and sort of figure out what she needs and take care of her. And, you know what? Maybe it just works for them. But again, sometimes the person that you love needs to do more than follow behind you and clean up your messes. Sometimes they actually need to tell you, you've lost the plot, mate. You kind of need to take a good look at what you're doing. He doesn't strike me as that kind of husband. Anyway, okay, so Kelly's leaving her beach neighborhood, and Rick is leaving Manhattan. So obviously both of them are going to have a very different life in her new house. It's funny because, okay, Kelly and Shannon and Braunwyn are all renting in Newport Coast. And Newport Coast is barely over the hill from the beach. I mean, there are homes when you go up there that are facing the ocean, and there's like there's Pelican and there's Spyglass, and there's neighborhoods that, for example, where Shannon's old house was, the super mansion, was in one of those neighborhoods. Heather Dubrow and her husband, their mansions were in those neighborhoods. That's on the side of the hill as you go upslope facing the ocean. And then there's kind of some neighborhoods that are sort of up on the top, where maybe the homes are a little closer, so you don't really have the big lots, you don't have the massive views, but they're still like in the $3 to $4 million range, and they're beautiful, and sometimes you'll get a little bit of a glimpse of a view. So it's not like they're moving. Well, even Irvine is really nice, but I mean, like, remember I said we used to call people who lived over the hills inlanders? We wouldn't quite call them inlanders, maybe, barely, but it's such a beautiful neighborhood. It really, I mean, it is suburbia. It is very clean and perfect and lots of rules and things like that. It's not funky like the beach, but trust me, it's like 10 minutes max to the beach from wherever they live. So they're still basically, they're in Newport. Her confessional look, Kelly's confessional look, is really pretty. The lighting, the makeup, the hair, it's a cute dress. Shannon and Bronwyn get together. Actually, Shannon is going to take Bronwyn to her acupuncturist, the famous Dr. Moon, who's been in the series, has been around now for a few seasons, and he's going to do acupuncture on her for addiction, I guess for alcoholism. And the main point of this is Bronwyn is confessing on the way over to the doctor that, I sort of threw you under the bus. Shannon. I might have said, I might have told Gina that you said that her condo was sad and depressing. And Shannon's like, I absolutely did not say that. And I don't think she would say that. It doesn't sound like something she would say. So I'm with her. I'm not going to listen to Bronwyn the second. No, I'm not going to listen to Bronwyn over Shannon over this. No way in hell. And Bronwyn repeats, that she said it, and Bronwyn says to her, you not only said it, but you told me that if I repeated it to anyone, you would deny it to the end. What? No one says that. No one says something and then preemptively says, oh, by the way, talk a little smack about somebody, and then you don't say, by the way, if you tell anybody that I said that, I'm going to deny it to the end, because it wasn't that big of a deal. So I think I call bullshit on Bronwyn. I don't believe her at all. She's going through a difficult time. And now Shannon's just flat out pissed at Braunwyn. I don't blame her. I think Shannon senses that Braunwyn is already making a big deal and causing problems and shit stirring over this. So Braunwyn may be our new Tamara! Da, da, da. Introducing your new Tamara. Emily says she feels odd about going to Shannon's housewarming because they've never been friends. Remember she said, oh, maybe this year Shannon will acknowledge that I have a pulse and I breathe because she's always ignoring her. Okay, the housewarming is, as I think I mentioned, it's a big ad for real. Not real to real for real. It's a big ad. Lots of plugs, lots of little things, lots of little tasters from the company, lots of logos from the company. All right. Go get it. All right, Gina and Travis are getting ready to go to the party. Travis has a weird beard. It covers a lot of real estate. It's technically a big beard, but the whole thing is cut close. None of it is full. Usually if people go that far, like down the neck and to the sides, they don't keep it so closely cropped. So it's a little bit strange looking, but he's cute. He may be one of those guys that has to have a beard because he has no chin or he has a funky chin or something like that. Or he might just think it's a cool look, but I think he seems, under all that beard, I think he seems cute. He's nice, so, maybe at some point we'll get to see him without that strange beard. Oh dear, how did I not know that one of Emily's daughters was named Faylee? Oh no, I'm sorry, Faylee. Luckily you're beautiful and you're smart and you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Okay, I think I like Shannon's house the best. It's more my taste. It's a little bit classic. It's very clean. It's a little bit kind of like art deco touches, like in the bathrooms, little things I noticed like that. I really like backyard. Yeah, it reminds me of kind of like a 1930s Hollywood villa. I like it a lot, actually. That would be my taste. Again, they're all renting, so I can only imagine what they're all renting from somewhere between like 16, 17,000 and 26, 27,000 a month for those houses, for Kelly's, Braunwyn's, and Shannon's houses. Maybe 15 to 23, somewhere in there, a month. And again, to buy 3 to 4 million. Braunwyn's on the higher side, even though I like hers the least, but because it's weird, it's just kind of tacky and has a strange chopped up feeling. I don't like it at all, but it's huge. It's 8,000 square feet. Okay. All right. This is Braunwyn's first event attending as a sober woman. Every time I think about her sobriety, I take a sip. And I thank God that among my addictions, alcohol is not one of them, because I do adore the taste of great wine. And this is a great wine. I wish you could share it with me. Those of you who drink alcohol, it's really nice. Okay, it was left over from dinner last night, and it's just there was one glass left. I was so excited, I didn't realize there was any left, because we usually kill a bottle. Oh, Lola and I will kill a bottle. Yeah, it's just a perfect. Look at this. Look at this. Oh. Okay. All right. So, yeah, it's her first event sober. Ugh, that is so tough. I can't even imagine. Okay, she's dying to drink. Obviously she can't talk about it to the people at the party, but she is going to talk about it as much as she can to us, to the audience in her confessional, and to her friends. Okay, there's a great scene in the car on the way to the party. We have Emily and Kelly and Shayna's in the back seat. Emily and Kelly are in the front and Shayna's in the back seat. And this sort of makes me think, all along I have been wondering if Shane just absolutely hates to be on television, and that he's like fine with her doing it. He supports her. He knows she's amazing. He knows he has a beautiful wife who's a successful attorney and raises all their children, and that actually, you know, they're fine. But he just hates having the camera on him. And for some reason, I don't know why, maybe he's trying to push himself to do something that he's not comfortable with, but he does show up on TV because, you know, the husbands can just say, I'm not going to be on. You can just say, I don't want to be a part of the show. You can do that. Absolutely. They usually want you to. They want to have someone where you're going to see their, you know, significant others, of course. But, you know, I think that Shane is actually, I think he probably has a dry sense of humor. I think he's probably funny in kind of a little bit of a wicked way. You guys are going to maybe think I'm crazy. I don't know. Let me know if anyone else gets these vibes. I think that he's super sarcastic. And I grew up in a really sarcastic family. In my family, the 5 kids in my family, you're either funny or you die. Anyway, okay, so getting back to this. This is, I think, one of the first concrete signs I have of the fact that I think that Shane is probably funny, and he's probably kind of a cute, entertaining husband. It doesn't matter that he doesn't look like George Clooney. God, that makes me sound old. It doesn't matter that he doesn't look like Timothy Chalamet. I don't know, whatever. You know, I think he's funny, and I think he's probably a lot of fun. And here's why. Because they start, Emily and Kelly, who are both, when they get going, very funny. Emily is the funniest one on the show. Emily has a great sense of humor. She has great comic timing. Gina's really funny too, but Emily is the comedian. She's definitely the funniest. Okay, so Emily and Kelly are, you know, talking about how definitely, you know, this whole thing about what was said about Gina's condo is going to come up at the party for sure. You know, whether Shannon said that it was sad and depressing and all, you know, because they both heard what Bronwyn, you know, talking behind her back and stirring the shit, saying that Shannon called her condo sad and depressing. Okay, so Emily and Kelly start doing that. This is going to be Shannon's reaction. What? Me? No bueno, no, me. And it's so funny because if you look in the beginning, Shane is in the back going, just like, he gets it. Aha. I'm going to look for those little glimpses. Come with me, let's go on a little hunt. Let's be little Sherlock Holmes and try and tease out if we think that maybe Shane is actually a nice, funny guy and not a complete jerk. My husband can be a jerk. That doesn't mean he isn't funny and a great guy and doesn't love me. A lot of men are jerks. A lot of women are jerks. I'm a jerk. Sometimes. Okay. Oh God, I love Shannon's backyard so much. Alright, Gina and Shannon have to go off and talk about the Braunwyn comment. Fortunately, which I was hoping would happen, first of all, Shannon says, I never said that. Does it sound like me? I wouldn't say that. And that was the first thing that I said. That does not sound like Shannon. Say what you want about Shannon. That does not sound like Shannon. She said, I did say it was small and had a lot of people in it. And Gina was laughing and she's like, it is small and it does have a lot of people in it. That's okay. I just wasn't happy with sad and depressing. And Shannon says, look, Bronwyn's the one who's been talking a lot of shit about your condo. And that's true. She has. You know, she said several times, made comments about, oh my God, how can you survive in something that small? I'm exaggerating, don't quote me exactly, but, you know, she definitely has. Okay, Gina believes Shannon right away because she already has problems with Bronwyn. Bronwyn has always looked down on Gina because Gina doesn't have enough money, and Bronwyn, I think, is very materialistic. I think she's all about the money. She claims she isn't, but I think she is. I think that Shannon and Bronwyn are both very impressed with people with money, but that doesn't mean they're only going to have anything to do with people with money. I mean, in Shannon's case. In Bronwyn's case, I don't know, maybe. She is definitely about the labels, the size of everything, and she would tell you how many carats are in her ring. She'd tell you, how much it cost. No. Going back to Gina and Shannon, and again, I'm so happy that Gina believes her. And then Shannon says something that I really love, something which I've already said, which is, Gina, Kelly, and Bronwyn and I are renters. We rent. I don't know if I'll ever be able to buy the kind of house that I want. I have to rent. And then she said, you're an owner. You bought that condo. You own it. It's an investment. You know, I mean, they're, you know, they can't say that. And I'm so happy Shannon brought that up to Gina. That made me very happy. Shannon, it's a muy bueno moment for you. Very proud of you. Very proud. Okay, Elizabeth and Jimmy arrive, and still trying to kind of figure him out. Wow, Elizabeth has a body on her, huh? She looks like a cartoon woman. She's like all curves, and you know, she's like, woo, boobs and butt, and you know, she's, yeah. I mean, I think she's beautiful. I think she has an amazing figure. But she comes, as everyone teases her, they say, you know, you look so Hampton. She does look very Hampton, but she looks like $1 million. She looks great. So is it okay if I say maybe she loves John, Jimmy, there's too many J's, Jimmy. I think, you know, maybe she just loves him because he's more of a, you know, down-to-earth guy or whatever, and he could be a real angel. So I'm so sorry to say this, but I think that, yeah, I want to know. I want to know what I want to know what she sees in him, because she can definitely be with anybody. And the fact that she has chosen him, and I'm sure had lots and lots of different opportunities, I'm curious to know, because I bet you there must be some great stuff about him, you know, that she chose him. So that's the way I'm going to put that. All right. Okay. Someone brings out tequila, and the appearance of tequila makes Bronwyn run to the bathroom and shut the door. Honey, you're not ready to go out to a party. You're not ready. This is why people go to rehab, and then they go to a sober house. So they're not around people who are drinking for a while. And then slowly reintroduce yourself back into society. First in small groups. You do not go to a giant party with all these people that you know are going to be hammering shots and drinking the whole time. And you don't know how to deal with people yet without being drunk, Bronwyn. You don't know how to socialize sober. That will take you a long time to learn. You don't even know who you are. So, yeah, I really wish she hadn't gone, and I'm sure that, well, I know that she wishes she had not gone to this party either. Okay, so Shannon is just pissed. She pulls Bronwyn aside. Well, I mean, she doesn't really pull her aside. She kind of does it in front of everyone. She's just pissed. She said, I never said that. I never said it was sad. Bronwyn insists that she did. I mean, you know, again, Shannon said, look, we're all renters and she's an owner. I am proud of her. Do not put words in my mouth. And then Bronwyn says, Sean will back me up. He heard you say it too. Sean will say anything you want. I'm pretty sure that when the kids go to bed, you walk him around on a long black lead and he wears a dog collar. I'm pretty sure, honey. Look, don't expect me to be impressed by Sean's going to say that what I said was true. Sean will back me up. That's why he has to wear that chunky immunity idol, because when he doesn't have the collar on, he feels insecure, and the chunky necklace makes... Totally making this up. Allegedly. This is I'm just making this up. And you know what? If S&M is your bag, if bondage and discipline is your bag, go for it. 2 consenting adults? Fine. But you know they do stuff like that. You know they do. You know they do. All right. So yeah, Shannon's like, Bronwyn, you are crossing a line. You're crossing a line. No, stop. Then she says, look, you mix stuff up all the time. You can't insist someone said something. That's absolutely right, Shannon. Bronwyn, you cannot insist someone said something. Yeah, the final word is up to Shannon. It's up to Shannon to say, I never said that. And I believe Shannon. Okay. She says Bronwyn's getting really manipulative, which I also agree. Now they're fighting really, really loudly. I mean, they were already kind of not really off on their own. They were kind of off a little bit on the side, but everyone knew they were talking and then fighting. Now Bronwyn has to drag everyone else, including Elizabeth and Jimmy, who don't even know these people, into the argument. Everyone is now in a circle, arguing, putting in their 5 cents. Just leave it. Bronwyn is really messed up. She's in a very damaged, kind of vulnerable place right now. She's just getting sober. She's struggling with not drinking. You know, Gina already thought Bronwyn was a giant asshole. And remember, Gina, I believe, does not know that Bronwyn is struggling with staying sober. She doesn't know about Bronwyn's alcoholism. She's about to find out. Shannon, do not even defend yourself. Just stay back. Stay above it. I mean, you said, I didn't say it. That's enough. Bronwyn says, you know, I do talk shit about your house. Bronwyn says, I do talk shit about you, Gina. I do, I admit it. Okay, you know what, and she's still pissed off about the text message that, supposedly, the racy text message that Sean sent to Gina asking if she got home okay. So, I don't know, this is just, alright. I do think Gina made too much of that text message, by the way, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Bronwyn's going to bring that up. Bronwyn already hated Gina, or disliked Gina, before the thing about the text message, before Gina said, why is Sean sending me these text messages? Or this text message was a little weird, like it was a little too friendly. And that really pissed Bronwyn off. Okay, listen, the long and short of it is, Bronwyn, being sober does not give you an excuse to be an asshole. Again, do not go out in the company of human beings if you cannot restrain yourself. It is normal for it to take some time for you to learn how to socialize as a sober person. So don't go to a big drinky party like this at 30 days sober. It's predictable that there will be a blow up, and there is. Yeah, Elizabeth already thought Bronwyn was weird. Now she really thinks she's weird. Bronwyn said that she actually wanted to call Gina and talk to her before the party. And a little bit about the, I don't know, just to see why things were so terrible between them. Gee, I wonder. She made a point that she wanted to call her, but she didn't get a chance. She was so busy, and this was when Emily says, I love this. Emily's like, you have 2 nannies, and you don't work. So you don't have time to talk to Gina. How can you be that busy? Emily, who is an attorney, which is the most work-intensive, hour-intensive profession that there is, one of most, who has 5 children, who keeps a house. Yes, she has help, but, you know, she still does a lot of things herself. And, you know, what? So, yeah, Bronwyn just, no. Okay. Gina says, look, basically all of this is happening because you were already treating me like shit. The reason why I'm taking Shannon's side now is because you were already treating me like shit. You were never nice to me. You always looked down on me. And then, because remember, Gina does not know about the alcoholism, she says, you're a sloppy chihuahua. Why don't you go have another drink? And Bronwyn screams, I am 30 days sober today, and promptly throws her non-alcoholic drink in the pool. So that was fun. Well, okay, yeah, I'm thinking, well, I'm into this season. I'm really into this season. I am liking it better than the last few seasons because of having to deal with Vicky. And secondly, with Tamra. So, I don't know about you guys, but I'm here for it. And I'm glad you're here for it. So please, oh, I hate it when people go like that. I'm here for it. And I'm so glad that you're here for it. Thank you so much for your support, your comments. I love sharing this with you. Please be so kind as to like, comment. You know, I always answer your comments. I love them. If you subscribe, please remember to drop down in the comments and tell me I am so-and-so and I have subscribed, because I don't always get, I get the numbers, but I don't always get the username or the person's name, obviously not the person's name, but the username of the person who's subscribing. I want to thank you personally. And remember, you can always ring the bell if you want to be notified for new uploads. And remember, I want you guys to take really, really good care of yourself. Let's see what happens next time I talk to you. Tuesday's kind of a big day. So, whew. Anyway, everybody just give yourself a big hug. So be good. Not too good. Don't worry too much. Whatever happens, we'll get through this. I love you guys. See you soon. Bye.